then. Hello and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. As always on these podcasting journeys, it's a man who's travel vlogging from Thailand, even though technically he's not travelling, it's just going around home and videoing the local areas. It's Keith. Say hello, Keith.
Hello, Keith.
No, don't
yes.
plug your Instagram. Don't. No, you're not allowed to.
I'm not. Yeah, okay. I'll plug it at the end.
Okay. There's an Instagram called K-Spot. Report it for pornography and scams. Okay. On that note. I gave you a plug, for fuck's sake. Don't be miserable at me.
You got the name wrong for starts. It's that K-Spot.
Oh, it's that K-Spot. Okay. It's that K-Spot.
Yeah, that K-Spot.
Anyway.
Go on then. Right. Go on.
Anyway, we've got some news. We've got some news about Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2, or rumours. Some more rumours about the Batman. Brie Larson turns up in the news again, which is amusing. Reacher. Ncuti Gatwa says something stupid. Because he's stupid. It's terminal. There's nothing we can do about it. Yes, wave. Hello, Biffa. So that's... Shall we get on with our first news story?
We should, yes.
Yes. Okay. Video. Which one to pick? Let's have... Oh. In a recent interview, Ewan McGregor shared his enthusiasms and ideas for a potential second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+. Though originally intended for a limited series, McGregor has expressed his desire to explore new stories, including taking the character back in time to an era of the Clone Wars. This idea would offer fans a chance to see Obi-Wan Kenobi in live action, wearing his iconic Clone Wars armor and potentially reuniting with Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker. So McGregor's career isn't going the way he wants it. That's the first thing. Let's just do the obvious. That's the first thing. His career's not going where he wants it. So because it's not going where he wants it, he wants some more Star Wars. That money was good. Stupid, but fuck it.
I can't see this happening.
I can't see it happening either. I think there's a big kibosh on productions and stuff at Disney at the moment that won't yield them any kind of results. And I don't think another Obi-Wan Kenobi series, considering how poorly it went down. And all I can think of, when you say Obi-Wan Kenobi, is two scenes. One is the one where they have the electric fence where you can walk around it. Yeah, and they show a wide shot, so you can see, obviously, you can walk around it. All they had to do is paint some more electric bloody wires in, across, up through the hill. No, couldn't fucking do that. Yeah. And then the other one is the bit where he's got what's under his fucking coat.
I know.
And it's just like, what childish shite is this? The thing is those two things, maybe, if they'd done it right, it should have been played for laughs. So we could have had a good fucking giggle at it. And, it's very funny, it's poking fun at itself. We would have liked that. But no, it took itself seriously, which is worrying.
It was bad. I mean, there's a guy that's done like a super cut of it. And then there's meant to be another one where he's redone all the special effects, and that's meant to be coming soon. But either way you look at this, it was rubbish. He was never meant to meet Vader again. So what, they decided to put Vader in it. He was never meant to meet Vader again. It should never have been done. It should never have been done.
No, it shouldn't have been done.
They made the character weak again, and they made all the whamming, awesome. They had, you had stabbing through the chest and still surviving.
Unforgivable.
It's just fucking ridiculous. It was really bad. It was really bad, and I don't see a season 2 happening. I don't know what I think Star Wars is dead.
Oh, it is. It is dead until someone does something. Someone comes in, issues some sweeping changes that we can all see. Yeah, it's dead. I think what Ewan McGregor is not really after an Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2. He's after a live action Clone Wars. That's what he wants, because he knows that's where the interesting stuff is. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure cowboy hat wearing, effeminate, what's his name?
Which one are we talking about? Oh,
Cowboy hat wearing effeminate fella.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Dave Filoni. Thank you very much, Keith.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni would probably be up for that. I've got some notes here. They probably would have to end up using the de-aging technology, which they're pretty good at, I'll be honest with you. Out of all the things, I think that Disney, if they do it properly, I'm going to say do it properly, are pretty good with that. They could. There's a lot of decent storylines that they could lift from the Clone Wars and turn into, say, a TV movie, if that makes any sense. Yeah, turn it into a TV movie, a long 3-4 hour episode of it. I think fans would like that, especially given, what you could do is you just lift it, give the writing to someone, say like the people who wrote Andor, and get them to write the episode, but lift it through this. Go story by Dave Filoni and rewritten and corrected by whoever. And I think you could make something of that, and I don't think people would be too unhappy with that. But given the way that Star Wars works, it's not going to happen. Never in a million years.
I think what's going to happen is Andor season 2 is going to hit the street, and it's going to be competently made and competently written. Although they did carry on making it while the what's his face left because of the strike. So, but if it goes like this, if it retains the same quality as the first season, people are going to go, Star Wars is safe, blah 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 blah. But it's not. And this is the thing. I think Andor season 2 will be quite good. I think we'll enjoy it. I think there'll be moments that lag, but overall, I think it'll be pretty good, right? But it doesn't mean Star Wars is saved. You have to get rid of the people at the top that have made all these decisions and driven it. And until you do that, until you start bringing in people that know and understand the material that they're writing for, which clearly they have not really had in terms of the people that made Obi-Wan, because they didn't understand Star Wars at all, and it was obvious they didn't understand the characters, right? I mean, fuck knows what they were doing with Book of Boba Fett and season 3 of Mandalorian. I mean, they were on to a reasonably good thing with season 1 and 2, and they had some reasonably good feelings at the end of season 2, and they totally fucked that up. And the people that made those decisions, the people that did that, have to be removed because they didn't cut it. They screwed up, and now you have to rethink. And yet they won't. I mean, how Indiana Jones flop being removed from Disney Plus? How are these people still in power? How do these people still have jobs? If you'd fucked up that badly and cost your company that much money anywhere other than Hollywood, you wouldn't have a job.
Yeah. I that's the bit that grates on me the most, is the fact that they lose it. And then if you're, say, like you're a theme park fan, they will take you for every penny more at the theme park and reduce your experience, because that's where Disney are getting their money from.
I mean, arguably there are bankers that have lost less money and been put in jail for fucking up that badly. It's I don't understand it, but
it's annoying, and it's frustrating, and we can see it, and one day they may learn their lesson, but it's not anything anytime soon. And with that, oh sorry.
I mean, I'll just say this though. I mean, they could have written off The Acolyte. Anybody who greenlit that, watched the outcome, and then went, yeah, that's fine to put out, needs to be removed. The decision makers currently in Lucasfilm, gone. That's the only way it's going to happen. Anyway, now you can move on.
With that, it's on to our next story.
Well.
A recent rumor that suggests that Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav has proposed to James Gunn that Rupert Pattinson's version of Batman from The Batman in 2022 should be integrated into the main DCU Batman. The DCU is currently in flux, and this move, if true, consider a major shift in the franchise approach to Batman, considering that David Zaslav's desire to reduce the number of on-screen Batmen, but with James Gunn overseeing the new DCU vision, this is rumoured to be a suggestion could streamline some of the multiverse chaos, consolidating the Batman's presence in future films, potentially influencing how other characters are treated as well. I think this has a weird ring of truth about it. And the reason I say it has a weird ring of truth about it is everybody's talking about the bloody Penguin series.
Because it's good.
At the moment. Everyone's talking about the Penguin series. And Colin Farrell is a great actor who is willing to put on God knows how many pounds of rubber to make himself appear as Oswald Copperpot. And I don't like the Batman. He's fucking useless Batman. Yeah? He's a crap detective. He's a crap fighter. He killed a load of people on a runway, on a freeway, trying to capture the Penguin in comparison to, say, other Batmen that have done similar things, yeah? And I don't like that aspect of it, because it's like this needless wanton destruction because make it look cool, but doesn't align with Batman's no-kill policy. Not no accidental kill, it's just no kill full stop. So I don't like that, but what they could do is they could age up and mature this version of Batman and iron out all those things and just turn around and say, you know, it was his first day on the job, you know, he's only been doing it for a week, we don't know if he's any good, sort of thing.
He was too emo in the film. I mean, and the music and everything, it was proper emo and it was a bit woke. And actually,
Yes.
having watched the film again recently, whereas the Penguin is not. But the problem is the Penguin, although set in a comic book world, is taken that ultra realism to a higher level than Nolan's Batman. You know, Gunner's said that at some point he wants to do, you know, have a movie where you've got Batman and Superman back on screen. That ain't going to work with Pattinson's current flavour of Batman. But you could have the actor come back and play a slightly less emo version of the character with a much better suit. And that potentially could work.
As I said, age him up and knock out all the rough edges. That's how I think it would work. This is Batman, and this Batman is 5 or 7 years on from the instance of the Batman. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, but I think they should almost not connect the dots that much. Just have the same actor play him, if that makes sense. A bit like when you had Judi Dench's M spanning 2 Bond movies, but she was a very different M in many ways from those Pierce Brosnan M's to thing. So familiarity, so you don't confuse it, but maybe not on screen heavily connected to that Batman first film, but just have the actor there. I don't know. I kind of like, you know, we're going to see it again. I mean, we're watching it next week. We're watching Tenet next week. From my memory, Robert Pattinson was really good in that movie, right?
Yes, he was.
But he was too fucking emo in The Batman, and I did not like the suit.
But Alfred, I want to go out.
Yeah, there were moments from that film I do like. There were.
It's the bit where Alfred opens up the package, and it's fucking. I can see it's a fucking letter bomb. I can see it's a letter bomb, and I'm like, oh my god! If you wouldn't have seen that and just had the explosion, that would have been fine.
I would almost not make the Batman 2. I would let the Penguin continue, right, and maybe make a second season of that. But honestly, why don't they just? They've already recast Superman, recast the Batman, recast Wonder Woman. Now that you've done it, if you bring back Pattinson as Batman, it's going to piss off a lot of people who with Superman. So I think it's you have to recast across the across the board. I understand what you're saying, but I think if they do it, it's going to piss people off. And I think they're going to have.
I think you overestimate how much people care about this stuff at the moment. I'll be honest with you.
I think you'll be fine that people care about the DCU stuff. There was a lot of, but you might be right. But I think there are still quite a lot of people pissed about Superman.
Well, I think they're more pissed about fucking Joker. I'll be honest with you.
Oh well, yeah.
Hey, that gritty drama where the man breaks and snaps and shoots a man on TV. Let's replace that with a musical.
Yes, but isn't he right? You can spoil it now. Is he not killed by the real Joker at the end?
Supposed to be.
Rumor. Yeah, I've
supposed to be,
rumor.
And then that Joker then carves a smile into his face, which they did, which was a big no-no. But because Nolan's contract was up with Warner Brothers, he was allowed to do it for that. So
they're saying it's the worst film in a very long while. I mean, it is a commercial flop.
I knew it was going to be terrible. It's the bit where you've got, what's the singer's name? Trying to play Harley Quinn, but she's not Harley Quinn.
Why is it?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, thank you.
Lady Gaga, and they're standing in front of the thingy, and she goes, "Let's give them a show," and it's delivered so without any kind of energy, without any kind of subtext, without anything. And I saw that clip, I was like, "It's gonna be shit." We didn't need a sequel to this. I don't know. The thing I liked with the Joker is I always came to the conclusion that the story the Joker was telling was made up so he could kill the therapist. And that's what he did at the end. He just kept her busy with his fucking tale and then killed her off. And it was all bullshit. That's what the conclusion I got. And I like the idea that it wasn't conclusive. So you could read into the fact that the Joker had just done this to kill someone. Yeah? And this whole thing is just a lie. Because that fits with the Joker's backstory. Where I prefer multiple choice or something along those lines. It was like, what is your origin? I prefer multiple choice. And that kind of fits a bit better with who the Joker is. And that kind of anonymity and kind of enigmatic kind of background. Where in my head, the thing I made up about the Joker is the sum total of the actual madness that exists within Gotham. And if you kill him, like Batman did when in Killing Joke, he just comes back. Because the madness goes to someone else, and then they become the Joker. Different type of Joker slightly, maybe psychotic prankster, maybe agent of chaos, maybe the cold calculating psychopath that the original Joker was. Someone's going to die at midnight. Someone dies at midnight. Ta-da! Yeah? So, sorry, that's why the idea of Joker 2 got on my tits. So, going back to put in, I can't see a problem with it, I'll be honest with you. I really can't see a problem with it. It's last man in, I suppose. He was never inside the Snyderverse. So that gives him, one up on Batfleck and Cavill and Godot, or Godot, or whatever her name is. So you've got that there. It's the long and short of it is down to James Gunn. So imagine James Gunn, this head of the studios, go, I want Robert Pattinson as Batman. He's gone, he's either doing one of two things. He's either trying to figure out how to fit it in, or he's figuring out how to tell David Zaslav, no, I've got an idea for Batman. If that makes any sense.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to find out. So when they say the new Batman comes out, then hopefully we'll hear it then. I don't mind either way. I'm not too fussed. The DCEU's deader than the fucking MCU, as far as I'm concerned. So Talking of the MCU, love one of them. No.
Hans Briggs? Oh no!
In another recent rumor, there's a suggestion that Brie Larson's Captain America is set to play a central role in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday film. Despite mixed receptions of her previous film, The Marvels, and the rumours that Marvel Studios are scaling back certain projects, Captain Marvel is expected to become one of the main characters in the anticipated Avengers installment. The rumour also hints that she will be taking up a significant leadership role within the Avengers as they prepare for the upcoming multiversal conflict. I've softened on Brie Larson as a person. Captain Marvel as a character, no.
Have you seen the Marvels? Did you subject yourself to it?
No, I didn't. I really didn't. I was like, it's on Disney Plus. It doesn't cost me anything. It just costs me, getting the remote control and going beep beep. It's too much. Too much a price to pay.
The person that plays the baddie is crap.
It's Benedict Cumberbatch's missus.
Yeah, she's slightly more likable in this film.
She was really likable in bloody Fast X.
Yes. So I don't know. We knew that Agatha was going to be really bad, and surprise, shock, horror. It's really bad.
We didn't even get surprise whamming this time. We just got surprise as
it.
crap.
I haven't even bothered.
I've only seen Disparu's coverage of it.
Yes, and that was enough for me.
That definitely is enough.
I haven't watched it. It just didn't work for me at all in any form or another. They've got to wake up.
They have.
We'll see.
Now, do I think the actress could play a decent character if she's given a decent script and decent direction? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
The problem
she was
is
in
that
Skull Island, and she wasn't annoying in that.
No, she wasn't. So would the Russos do her justice? Depends on their attitude. If their attitude is this is a big payday for us, and we don't really give a fuck, then no, she's not going to get any justice. If the attitude is we are professionals, we've been paid to do a job, and we're going to do the best job we can, given the money that we've been given and the responsibility of helping the MCU return back to its glory days. A leadership role inside the Avengers, they'd have to soften her as a character. It's annoying because you haven't got Captain America or Iron Man, who are the two kind of leaders, if that makes any sense. Between the two of them, they kind of shared the responsibility.
They definitely softened her in the Marvels. No one watched the movie, and the people that did said it was really bad. But there were, when she's on screen with especially the young one, Kamala Khan, it does kind of work. The movie's bad, the story's bad, the baddie is terrible. I mean,
it's a story of Spaceballs, isn't it? The Spaceballs turn up trying to suck up the atmosphere of the oceans or sunlight or whatever. Just need a giant vacuum cleaner.
There are moments where she's quite good. I'm going to say that. I'm going to put that out there. So, yeah.
Just as something Biff just a comment that Biffa wrote in the comments. We'll get there. We'll get there when we finish going through the news. I don't actually fit him in the leadership of the Avengers. It sounds odd. I would pick Doctor Strange as the leader because he kind of comes across that way out of all of them. I don't know if she can, given the Marvels and Captain Marvel, and when she turned up. If she turns around and goes, I'm really good at destroying spaceships, not necessarily bad guys, but I can do spaceship. Give me a spaceship, pull me a spaceship off, fucking flatten the thing, you know? They need to make her likable, more engageable sort of thing, because they fucked it for the original Captain Marvel, and when they got to the Marvels, They made it so unappealing, no one watched it. So if she was better in the Marvels, we didn't get to see it because no one saw it. Because you made a crap film that looked cheap on the budget of like $300 million. How the fuck do you do that?
The same
Seriously.
as the Acolyte.
Yeah, that's the bit that gets me, is the fact that you're right when you talk about Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, and you tell us that you can see where the money was spent. It's clearly in the production. Yeah, it's shit because it wasn't in the writer's room. That's where the money didn't go.
Yeah.
But you can see that it was definitely put into the production, and whoever the people doing the production, they did good production. Apart from those some stupid fucking choices. Why having a spinning section in the middle of fucking Discovery is a wise idea.
Well,
I don't get that.
I'm not saying, but it looked good. It didn't look cheap. It did not look cheap.
No, it looked like they spent the money on the what do you call it? On the special effects and production. That's clear. It's especially in the first season.
Which makes you wonder where the fuck $300 million, because I'm telling you, Discovery did not have that budget. So for the Acolyte,
well, it's like Rings of Power when you compare the Rings of Power to House of Dragon. It's like half, maybe a quarter of the budget, or a third of the budget.
My dad, I was having an argument with my dad about this the other day, Rings of Power, because he goes, "Oh, I watched Rings of Power. It was all right." So I said, "Dad, Gandalf doesn't turn up for another 1,000 years." "Yeah, but I don't look at it like that. I don't, you know." He was like, "But you got to remember, it's a TV series. It's $1 billion TV series, Dad." "What?" I said, "It cost $1 billion fucking dollars."
It's not the BBC doing this. Yeah.
It's not like it's the movies. This has a bigger budget than the goddamn movies did.
Oh fuck, yeah, it did too.
It did.
Wow, I didn't think of it like that. Oh my god! If you'd have given that money to Peter Jackson, he would have come up with a 6-part Hobbit film.
I mean, look. I mean, I'm going to say this in a very nice way. My dad is 75, and he probably is a bit of a Norman. He just watches stuff to be entertained. So from that perspective, I kind of understand why he likes it, because he doesn't look at it very closely. But for me, looking at Galadriel, being that I know what's behind it, and that irritates me. It does. The Rings of Power does at least look reasonable in places. I mean, there are moments where the effects break down, but it's still better. It is a miles better than the Acolyte was.
Yeah.
I mean, I can diss the Rings of Power for a lot of things, but it is miles better than the Acolyte was. But anyway,
I just hope Leslie Headland's had a fucking massive payday out of that. I really do. I hope she got $100 million out of that.
Well, she must.
Because if she got $100 million out of that, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
Seriously, if I was in her position, I'd do the same. Yeah, I'd just have less lesbians, or I'd have 90s style lesbians.
I don't know if they were lesbians. I mean, there were 2 lesbians.
They're lesbians. Come on, Keith. They're
There were
space
2
lesbians.
There was 2 lesbians in it, but I'm not sure whether the
The
other.
whole
it never
Witches'
really-
Coven was lesbians. The lot.
Okay.
Yeah?
I don't think it was ever. It never clearly stated that. It did state that the 2 mothers were, but I don't know if it clearly.
The whole lot,
It
they're
never-
all fucking lesbians. All of them. Everywhere are
Look,
lesbian.
I'm not gonna lie. It was shit.
The
so I don't
only
really
one,
care.
the only one that wasn't a lesbian was Smilo Ren.
Oh, and what's his face? Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis was in it. And Yoda.
Yeah,
Yoda was
that
in it
doesn't
briefly.
count.
I mean, that's where the 300 grand went on. It was on that fucking 2-second shot at the back of Yoda's ears. That's where 300 grand went. $300 million went. Yoda's ears.
Yeah, I suppose. And on that note, let's move on to our next story. Let's have. Oh, hang on. I'll give you a bit of this. There you go. I gave you a bit of that. You should be happy. All right. Prime Video has officially renewed the hit series Reacher for an early season 4, even before the 3rd season's released, highlighting the massive success and fan base the show has built since its debut in 2022. The series, based on Lee Charles's novels, follows Jack Reacher, a former U.S. Army major played by Alan Richardson. As he tackles criminal conspiracies. The third season is expected to premiere next year, adapting the novel Persuader, and fans can look forward to a new spin-off series focusing on Reacher's sidekick Francis Negley. Please, if you do it, it needs to be spy kind of thing, closer to spooks and slow horses.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I funny enough, I watched season 1 again last week because I was not feeling particularly well. I was annoyed with something, and I needed to see a big dude smashing the shit out of bad dudes, and it worked. It's good fucking treatment. It's good medicine. So I watched season 1 again. I'd forgotten how good season 1 is. I like Neely in that. I like her in season 2. There isn't too much surprise woman about her. Yes, she is a lesbian, but it kind of fits the character. It does fit the character. It's not like, I don't think, oh, we need a lesbian in it. I think we wrote this character and it kind of makes sense that she is a lesbian. If that makes sense. I really liked Reacher season 2. I think it wasn't as good as season 1, but it definitely has some awesome fights in it. Season 3 is meant to return to the sort of roots of season 1, without all of the. It's going to be Reacher as the main lead.
When you talk about season 1, it always gives me the impression of the lone wanderer who wanders in a western, who wanders into a town and puts everything right and does in the corrupt sheriff. Well, that's what you fucking did, with the help of the locals and that. And I kind of like that feeling. So I don't know. Apparently, there's a character called Paulie, who is a deranged bodybuilder bodyguard. So I wonder how that's going to work out.
I mean, I'm looking forward to season
interesting.
3. I was surprised because we knew that the studio that made this had got fucking closed down. So but as I said, I thought they would keep Reacher. It is popular. So I'm glad that they are making a season 4. I just hope it keeps the quality. There is something really masculine about season 1 in many ways, but at the same time, you should have strong female characters who have earned that place.
Yeah.
And I liked season 1. I liked season 2. Don't get me wrong. I did like season 2. I want a season 3. I'm looking forward to season 3. I'm glad that they've done a season 4.
Well, according to my notes, the viewership went up to 50%, at least 50% with season 2.
Yeah, it was word of mouth that season 1 wasn't
really
very well
publicised. It was. I think it was one of those things that went on TV, people watched, and then because they then watched it, they then told their friends, so it didn't really count in the first set of viewing figures, and they were all primed to then watch it for season 2, and then they watched season 2 and enjoyed season 2. So yeah, it's good. I can't wait to see season 3. I haven't read any of the Lee Charles's books. The caretaker at my work does.
Shockingly,
So I might ask him.
Nige has. This will be the one place where Nige knows more about this shit than we do. How's that for irony?
Yeah. I'll have to have a word with our good fellow Nigel just to see what's going on there with that, because it was good, it was enjoyable. It's what you want. Don't want any of this kind of ambiguous crap unless it's clever, but they can't even do clever. That's my issue, is the fact that they concentrate too much on the identity and not enough on the character, and that's where it falls down every bloody time.
But Reacher was good. And as I said, big man smash, and it works.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, there's a bit in the season 2 where that guy's coming out with a fucking chain on a bike, and he literally catches the chain and yanks him off the fucking bike. I love that.
Yes,
there is something to be said for big man smash. Sometimes we are quite simple creatures. We're not complex like women. We're quite simple. Big Man Smash does it.
See, me,
Same as
it's
Monster
it's
Smash.
for me, it's me see thing go boom.
Oh, well, yeah,
I
there
like
is
me
that
see
as
thing
well.
go boom. If I watch something, if thing goes boom, me happy.
Yeah,
Star
there is
Wars.
that.
How does Star Wars, the first Star Wars film, end? Oh, Death Star go boom, me happy. Yeah, simple, very simple. So simple. They went back to it in the third film. Boom.
True. Right.
Independence
what's
Day.
next? Boom. Yeah,
That's
but Independence
my
Day
turn.
too, not so much.
My turn. I've just realised my video is slower than yours. Your timing is much faster than mine. Anyway, Ncuti Gatwa, the 15th Doctor, shares exciting news about the future of the iconic series during an appearance on Graham Norton. I was going to say then. Graham Norton. Graham Norton. It might be. It should be Graham Norton. Alongside confirming the Christmas special Joy to the World, set to air this year. Gatwa reveals that filming for the third season, which will be the show's overall 16th, is planned for 2025. Fans can look forward to the return of familiar characters, new companions, along with further thrilling adventures. Now, this article is missing something, because that has been cut out of the Graham Norton thing on iPlayer. Meaning, we ain't getting season 16 or season 3 or whatever they're calling it. Because Disney ain't playing.
Announced it.
No, Disney only paid for 2 and they got fuck all out of it. So, yeah.
It's one of two things. It means that there is a third season, which would not surprise me because Disney's good at paying for shit. I mean, yes, there's been a lot of people online going Disney are not happy, and it might be true. It might be that they, the cancellation of the Acolyte was Disney seeing the light, in which case they might cancel Who, or they might have said, Russell, cut it with all this crap and go back to writing good Doctor Who.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can. I think it's beyond it. I think he's lost it. I think he's lost it, and I think that everything he's doing now is damaging his legacy, which he shouldn't be doing. He should go back to like fucking Queer as Folk, the next generation. That would work better for him than this, and it would probably fit. Stephen Moffat's planned last script is this Christmas special, Joy to the World. And considering he wrote the only episode that people went, it's not that bad, for Ncuti Gatwa's one. When I said, it's not that bad. It's not great or good. It's not that bad. It's not the same. So, yeah. So you got Belinda Chandra, who plays Vadra Sethu, who is from the Stephen Moffat episode, and the character Mrs. Flood, who was hinted a dark future for Doctor Who, which may never fucking happen. Which is just one of those things.
She's either the Master, the Rani, sorry, or she is Clara.
It is. I think it's the Rani. Do you know why? Because from the Rani, you can get the anagram rain. And when it rains too much, it floods.
Yeah.
That's how dumb Doctor Who has become. And I think I am fucking bang on the money there.
But, I mean, in terms of Doctor Who seasons, and I can't believe it, the last season was its worst of the new Who. And I can't
Chibnall,
believe
all is forgiven.
I can't believe I'm actually saying that it was worse than Chibnall's era, but it was. It was terrible. And I mean, there's that British BBC YouTube channel that is a Doctor Who channel, and I mean, bless them. I know that their whole shtick is a Doctor Who thing, but they were having a go at like all the negative people, the fans. I said, look, I commented on it. I said, I know you're a YouTube, your whole thing is a Doctor Who, but don't attack the fans, because most fans don't agree with you. That's why the ratings were so low, and the iPlayer ratings and the Disney Plus ratings weren't that good either before anybody goes in streaming.
That's not Who culture, is it?
Yes.
Oh, do you want to hear the funny thing? Right, there was a guy who was doing the commentary. He did like ups and downs for the Jodie Whittaker era TV thing, and when he left, he fucked off to do his own YouTube channel where he criticises Doctor Who.
But you've got this. I mean, she's a bit awkward, the girl, at times, but she attacked the fans. Don't listen to the next. What you look at that season of Doctor Who objectively, and it is not good. It is not well written. It's silly in places, and it's just bad. It's just bad, right? When you start writing with agendas, when what you want, when you focus on your political message more than telling a good story, you fall down. And that's exactly what Davis is doing. He's admitted it. He says it in interviews, and you're fucked before you get out the gate. You just are. And as I said, I'm personally affronted and offended by the Davros thing.
That got all we had to do is say Julian Bleach, old fella, putting him in a ton of makeup, not a pleasant experience. So we figured it might be best if we get to see a different side of Davros. If you'd have said that, I would have gone, all right, fair enough. And all of a sudden, wheelchaired people are evil. Are they? I think that's a reflection on yourself and not the general viewing audience, that you see it like that. Or you have a low opinion of the audience because you may not see it like that, but you think that they see it like that. Either way, it's not good. Yeah? You treat people equally. Equality versus equity, I suppose.
I think it will get a season 16. It's just whether Disney's paying for it or not.
I know it's got season 2 because they paid for 2 back to back. Yeah, and plus they're a smaller season, so it's not as expensive as anything else. I don't think they've got funding for that. But if they have, the money's the stuff that's come from Sony and the BBC. Because I know that Sony is still paying for this. But if that's the case, when Sony have the lion's share and they've got the most amount of money in there, they're going to sit there and make some good changes. And one of them, I reckon, will be fucking Toby Stevenson as the Doctor. And the Doctor will finally be ginger. And a man.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. But my hope's not out for Doctor Who, I'm afraid, which is a shame because I love Doctor Who. I've heard some rumours. I've heard the Master's back. There are some rumours around, but I don't believe them. So I think it's just bullshit. But I think the Master will be back. But there was a rumour that Matt Smith was playing the Master, which just doesn't work. Although I could.
No, Matt Smith has come out and said if he comes back to Doctor Who, doesn't want to play the Doctor. As far as he's concerned, the Doctor ended when his Doctor died. But he would come back and play the Master because he thinks he'd have more fun playing the Master. And if you give him dark contact lenses and jet black hair, I think he could do it. Come on, I've seen him. I've not seen huge amounts of what do you call it? House of the Dragon, but I've seen him being an arsehole in that, so I know he can play one. And I think he wants to too.
True.
So,
right.
Should we get comments?
Yes.
All right, let's put the music on. Might have a press play. Yes, we need the music. That way everyone knows. So, Mrs. One.
She had inside information.
She had inside information. Do you know? Yeah, because she called up when we were setting up. So I think Biff did a really good job there. So considering he didn't have inside information, and Chuck, hello Chuck. I didn't know. I haven't. Did he destroy his drone in a volcano?
Don't know.
Oh, okay. I want to feel that.
Don't know. I do know, but I'm not spoiling.
Oh, okay. And then, Filoni. I thought you felt lonely.
Ah, I'm so lonely.
Feel lonely. I know the future. Obi-Wan season 2. Chinanoi, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Let's
Nothing
have a look.
surprises me these days with Hollywood.
Obi woke Kenobi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lady Doody Doo. Or Doo Doo.
Oh, that was in response to your Lady Gaga. He
Oh,
went
yes.
Lady Doo-Doo.
Lady Doo Doo. Yeah, definitely Doo Doo. Definitely Doo Doo.
I think Chuck's got a slight thing for Brie Larson.
He's got a thing for Brie Larson. I have softened on her, probably because I really like the cheese.
Moving on.
In the Marvel, you missed Brie Larson as a Disney princess. I'm not watching it, but I'm not watching it, Biffa. I'm not watching it. I'm not. All right. I like this comment. This is a great comment. I gave Deadpool and Wolverine an extra star rating because it didn't feature Brie Larson. I think that's another Brie Larson comment there. I think Chuck's got a thing for Brie Larson.
Yes, he does. Yes, yes.
Just do regular Brie. You know, just have it melted on a cheese and bacon baguette. Mwah. Bit of cranberry, fantastic. And then we turned into the cooking channel all of a sudden. See Venom: The Last Dance coming out size. Did you guys talk about that previously? Your thoughts on that one? Wondering if we should see it. Depends on your mood. If you want to go and watch a mindless comic book film, that's probably not going to be too fantastic but entertaining. Yeah. If you're expecting something decent, yeah, I might struggle a little for that, if that makes any sense.
I don't know. I mean, I think the Venom movies, people like to dump on the Venom movies, but actually, they're entertaining, they're funny. Venom is not treated like shit like he had been in other movies. He is treated like a, you know, he's given a certain amount of respect, and it works. Tom Hardy's great in the movies. They're entertaining. What do you go to the cinema for? You go to the cinema to be entertained. If you're somebody, you know, if you tend to analyze films and things, maybe leave your brain in a jar at the door. But based upon entertainment value, they are entertaining movies, and the third one looks good from that respect. The trailer made me laugh. The trailer made me want to see it. I'm going to go and see it at the cinema if that's enough for you. Just don't overanalyze it. But they will entertain you.
Don't over-expect anything either.
I think they're quite funny and entertaining.
It's a proper mindless popcorn flick.
It's a fast.
It's in the same vein as Fast and the Furious. I'll be honest with you. Venom would fit in the Fast and the Furious universe, and probably the Transformers universe
too. I love the Fast and the Furious movies. Yes, they are ridiculously stupid. It's a bit silly, the movie, but again, Laurie, if you like any of the Fast X films or anything like that, you'll probably like Venom. I'm going to go and watch it in the cinema.
I'm going to go and watch it too. So, okay. So, that's because Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I know.
That's because Sydney Sweeney. That's because of Sydney Sweeney. Sorry for the podcast listeners. We've just got a lot of comments that say yay, really, and really. And we got play that again. That's Sydney Sweeney. And then we've got Laurie laughing at Tanith there. And then we've got play
two more times.
Play two more times. There might be an opportunity towards the end. Blood has to leave the brain. And then we got. We owe Jar Jar Binks an apology. After watching the Acolyte Witches Coven, Jar Jar Binks looks like Shakespeare after this. Everyone knows that Jar Jar...
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Sorry.
You have to remember that Jar Jar Binks was a secret Sith. He was the Sith Acolyte before the Acolyte. That's how Palpatine got to power. That's for Rebecca Ferguson. That's for Rebecca Ferguson. Keith's volume's got low all of a sudden. It's funny because yeah, he has to remember to talk into the microphone. So where I've got my microphone placed, it's kind of placed so I talk at it. He's got this kind of. I pop more than Keith, though. You'll probably notice. I'm a bit more of a plosive man myself. Didn't work out, Gareth. Fuck, lost track.
Oh, drone.
Ah!
He spoiled it then.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was hoping for a cool kind of volcano shot.
He's going back.
Sydney Sweeney's live for an hour. Sydney Sweeney's live for an hour. Oh, sorry. Sydney Sweeney's live for an hour.
Will get my attention.
Ah. His volume is okay. He has to talk towards.
She'll get Little Chuck's attention anyway.
Little Chuck.
Laughing, and I can hear that dirty laugh right now.
Oh,
he does have a dirty laugh, Chuck, sometimes.
So Chuck got so excited, he typed in volcano, and then he put the O in the next line. Oh well, it's one of those things. I'll look forward to seeing the death, well, or the close call of your thingy, or the explanation that the Icelandic government won't let you fly drones near volcanoes, because it's probably that, I imagine. Not as exciting, but I want to know. Got a low and low. And with that, let's move on to our reviews. So, you wanted to talk about...
Yeah. I mean, I don't... this is not really, and I'm sorry, American Cousins, although I believe it's on BBC America. I can't quite believe I'm going to say this. I saw the best BBC drama in years. And I mean, it felt like old school BBC drama. It's called Ludwig, and it is a comedy drama, and it's starring, oh God, Mitchell from Mitchell and Webb.
David Mitchell, yeah.
David Mitchell, right? And he plays two characters, although you don't really see the second character. He plays twin brothers, right? And it starts with the wife of the brother calling the other brother to come and help her, right? And the wife is played by the one that was in you know her, but she's a famous actress. But
narrows it down a bit. Famous actress.
I'm trying to remember. What was the cop drama? The where cops investigate cops. You know, and you had H and everything. The one that me and Nige watched a lot, and you did watch in the end. Line of Duty. She was in Line of Duty. She played the boss. She turned up in Line of Duty as a boss for a while. She took over. But anyway, she's good in this. Anyway, so basic premise is brother is a cop. He's a DI. And he disappears, right? And the brother is a bit of a recluse, is a puzzle maker. He writes puzzles under the name of Ludwig, and she ropes the brother into coming in and investigating where the brother's gone and why the brother's disappeared. And, you know, hilarity ensues because he goes off to the police station and everybody mistakes him for the brother. So he ends up investigating murders and solving them, right? And solving them like a puzzle. Basic premise, 6 episodes, really good music, set in Cambridge. The characters are well written. You've got supporting characters that are quite interesting. There's the mystery of what's happened to the brother. The brother's partner, who you only see briefly, although I think he's going to turn up in season 2. Who was the guy that Ricky Gervais sent everyone and didn't like? Carl
Pilkington.
Carl Pilkington plays turns up briefly as the partner, but it was just really good. It was wholesome stuff. It was family. I think it's on after the watershed because grisly murders, but they weren't that grisly. And it's him awkwardly solving these murders as well as investigating what's happened to his brother. And it was genuinely heartwarming. It was there was no wokeness about it. There was no him being talked down to all the time. He was an awkward person, but he wasn't constantly talked down to. I mean, the wife has a go at him, but the wife has a go at him in context, not. Do you know what I mean? Where where BBC dramas recently, it's all surprise women having a go at men, and dads are bad and everything else like that. They never paint him as a bad dad, right? There's none of that. There's no politics here. It's just a really good BBC drama with a mystery behind it, and luckily it's been commissioned for season 2. The soundtrack's wonderful. It's set in Cambridge, so it's in a beautiful part of England, and the murders are genuinely great in terms of how he solves them, and supporting characters are funny, and the last episode's really good, and it leaves you wanting a lot more. And luckily, the BBC has already commissioned it because, unsurprisingly, Gareth, it's also the BBC's highest-rated drama in years. Why? Because it's not woke. Fucking shock.
Okay.
I mean, it's been getting numbers of like 5 or 6 million, including the iPlayer. That's unheard of for a BBC drama these days. But it deserves it. You should watch it. You enjoy it. You like what's its face? The murder in
Death in Paradise.
Death in Paradise. It's kind of in that vein, but it's not. It's set in Cambridge, but I think you would enjoy it.
Okay, I'll give it a watch.
It's slightly comedic. It's all available on the iPlayer. David Mitchell is very good in it. I enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed it. I like the third episode is quite good. And I honestly didn't see that one coming. If that makes any sense, like who the murderer was. It really had me perplexed, that one. The fourth episode, I kind of figured that. The fifth episode is clever. They're all quite clever as well. The murders are clever. But yeah, it genuinely really enjoyed it. Really, and I don't know when I have enjoyed a BBC drama like that for a long time. Tanya said, my dad was talking about this show. It's really good. Your dad is right. It's genuinely very good. Watch it on the iPlayer. Ludwig. As in Ludwig Bate, what's his face? But it's really good. You should watch it.
Okay. I'll give it a watch. I need to watch something. I've been watching, been catching up on Tulsa King. Because I finished off Slow Horses, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Yeah.
And because of that, I killed the, what do you call it? The Apple TV subscription and replaced it with Paramount Plus. So it's one of those ones where now I don't subscribe to anything. I just get it, replace it with the next one.
Where are you up to?
The one that aired today. So they just had a fight with the Chinese people. Okay.
I haven't watched that one, but the court case was great. The court case episode was really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, that was a good one. I think you're gonna like him wandering around the school a bit more.
What, in the fifth episode?
Yeah.
No, I'm enjoying season 2. So I enjoyed the fourth episode. So I liked the one where I enjoyed that. The next episode where he goes to do a deal with the wind turbines, he gets absolutely off his tits in the car. That was quite funny.
I love that. He was he was such like an annoying sibling in the car to Matey. So that was good. I like that. I like that kind of thing. It needs a bit more humour. So there's a darker bit in it, and my worry is that it's going to go kind of down the more darker path in places, which will make it interesting. But I like the light of it in places, if that makes any sense.
It mixes light with dark, and it works. I honestly, Stallone was born to play this role, and he's brilliant at it, and he's perfect for the role. It wouldn't work with anybody else, I don't think. There's something that Stallone brings to it that just works. I really like Tulsa King. I forgot about that. I haven't seen today's episode yet, but I'll catch up with it tomorrow. I have a day out today, you see. So yeah.
So yeah, no, watch that. Anyway, last episode of Slow Horses.
Well, we called it.
Yep, it did it in the tease. Finally got to meet him. And River's response is, "Hello, Dad." And I think, fuck, they addressed that, because if they hadn't addressed that, I'd have been really pissed off. So yeah, they addressed that. He didn't see his mother, because I was expecting his mother to turn up. I
think she might still. I've just said, because we briefly talked about this, but I've just had a vision. I am right. The bit where disabled lady calls up thing, you said it was the letters. It's not, because Lady Di gives him the letters. He didn't know about the letters. When Lady Di comes to visit him at Slough House, she hands the letters, and Lamb didn't know about it. I think that is a thing left over for the next season.
No, he had the letters. Because I read Claude's. He read Claude's, and he gives her the letters. Go back and watch it.
All right.
I will bet you how much money. How much money you're willing to spend.
I'm not going to bet money, because you could be right. I didn't think they cleared that up. I think they deliberately put a few little.
No, that was clear. It was clear. I need to talk to you, and then it cuts, and you can see the letters across the table, and then when Diana comes to Slough House at the end, he has all the letters there, and he said he opened up Claude's and went through it, and he goes, all these things that we put out on the web, and then hopefully Ho managed to get there before, so nothing goes too wrong with it.
Next season is Ho centric, which is going to be funny.
Is it?
Yes.
I love watching. If you watch the bits behind the scenes, and you've got Ho. Ho, the actor, is so rada. He's such a fucking rada. Yeah, it's that kind of. He goes, I enjoy playing Roddy Ho because he's a bit of a rapscallion, you know. He's intelligent, but not very. It's like that, and I just love that because he's gone through the whole received pronunciation training, and when you go through that, doing accents becomes a lot easier because if you can then alter your voice, alter the way you talk permanently, so everyone always understands what you're saying. Everything becomes a lot easier, and I think the American actors need to learn to do similar things if they want to play parts that aren't American.
It was really good. I like the capture at the end. I like how he remembers what what his dad said and catches him. I don't know. I mean, at first I didn't know why his dad turned himself in. Then you obviously find out about the letters. But there's a couple of things that I really kind of liked, and it was Lamb looking after poor old Scratch who got killed, which I knew was going to happen. I actually thought Sniff would get it as well, so I'm glad that she made it through. But I knew Scratch was going to get it.
I love the Amos like Prax moment that they had right at the end, where they've got him handcuffed to the radiator, and then you've got the guy in the hoodie. I can't remember his name, and he's like, kind of, if he didn't want you to do that, he goes, he loved you, and he wanted you to love yourself like that, and he takes the gun off her, sits down, and he's like, kind of.
He's a psychopath. I mean, he's a psychopath, and that's clearly going to come up in the. Well, there's a bit of it in the trailer where they call him that.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's a bit of a psychopath, I think. But the fact that Lamb cares enough for her to tell her not to go, then he cares enough to get the proper wage, money, compensation for the family. Mm-hmm. And then the bit at the end with Cartwright in the pub, where there is this begrudging respect there. And the fact that they've both been through the shit, and instead of Lamb being a bastard, he goes, as long as you don't talk. That's Lamb for...
Yeah, that's Lamb being nice.
Yeah.
What I liked was the fact that they had, was it David Cartwright, who was his grandfather, yeah? And they said that he was a bastard, yeah? But he shut down that whole operation where they'd go out assassinating people on the service's behalf. And then when he went, then they upped it again after. So he wasn't the bastard that everyone made him out to be.
I found Cartwright putting him in the home. That was difficult.
Oh, yeah. That was difficult, yeah.
But yeah, this next one I think is going to touch back on some stuff from before. There was a few things in the trailer that made me think this is hinting back. But Claude, the first desk, he's a bastard. He's an absolute bastard.
It's a weasel.
She's going to get him. She's going to get him.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I think Tavernish feels a bit like Lamb. And the reason I say that, yeah, is the fact that she feels that she can't go and do the first desk's position because there've been so many fuck-ups, yeah? She doesn't want that hit, and she doesn't want that. She'll fix them, and she fucking hates it, and that's why she doesn't want first desk. So she's trapped there like Lamb is trapped at Slough House.
I think she will become first desk, though. I think... I don't... because, in theory, there are currently 9 books, although most people think the 9th will be the last, and several novellas around it. Most people think the 9th, so potentially we've got another 5 seasons of this.
I'm not complaining. I fucking enjoy the hell out of it.
I do as well, and I like the fact that they are, unlike a lot of fucking streaming shows, they've already made the 5th season. I like the fact that when the 4th season airs, they're either in production with it, or they're in post production with it. So, and I know it's got a 6th season. So,
yeah.
Which is, again, this is I think this is the longest running Apple TV program. No, it's on par with For All Mankind. So this will be the longest running Apple series, one or two longest running Apple series, but it's got a 6th season, supposedly, reportedly. So I'm loving it. I enjoyed it. I think there's a lot more to come. Daddy's going to turn back up again.
Yeah, they didn't kill him off. The things I did like, the bit with the kettle, where you've got Sniff going, let's give him the nicknames. She's yelling, goes, "Why have you brought a fucking kettle?" And he throws the kettle at the guy at the top of the stairs, which gives him a bit of space. That
was generally dramatic, but I knew he was going to die. It was obvious that he was. But again, fucking Lamb coming in at the last minute with a bottle, fucking throwing that bottle at him,
Dunk.
punching him, right, and then she just fucking lays into him. Right.
Yeah.
And I was cheering at that point. I was like, "Come on, he's getting boring now. Like, what is he, a goddamn Terminator? Come on!" How many times does this guy have to fucking get punched before he stays down? But yeah, there were no big surprises. Put it that way.
No, there were no big surprises.
Although I want to know what the paint scene is. I mean, that in the trailer for the 5th series is the paint. I want to know what there's clearly something going on there with the paint. Yeah.
Well, it looks like it. It looks like Ko will be teamed up with someone. It's really enjoyable. I'm annoyed that it's over though. I felt like it wasn't here long enough.
Go watch it with you. You'll enjoy that.
Okay.
It's not like Slough House, but you'll enjoy it. You will. It's feel good.
All right. Shall we talk about Dunkirk?
Yes. I'm going to say this. this is the first one that we've got to that we've actually reviewed on this podcast before, right? And I remember the conversation at the time with you, and for the most part, I stand by what I said the first time. There is one moment where this film feels too claustrophobic for the setting, right? There is never, until the last minute, when he is flying, when you see him and his engine is out, and Hardy's character in the Spitfire is coming, and for the first time you get a sense of scale of how many people are on that beach. You do not see that until then, and even when the boats.
Oh no, you get a sense at the beginning with the stretcher.
No, you don't.
Yes,
you only get 2 cues. I counted it. I purposely, because I went, where am I getting this sense from? So I actually went back and I studied this, and I went.
It is, Keith, I don't want to sound rude or anything. I think it is supposed to feel a little claustrophobic, as in
yes, it
the
is.
Germans are in all sides.
Yeah,
and it's the fact that you don't get to see any actual Germans in a thingy
he
makes it like an unseen enemy.
He's creating that sense with by doing that with the music and everything. And as you've pointed out, the music goes up and up. But the trouble is, Dunkirk, 300,000 troops were on that beach. 300,000, right? And the boats that turned up were in their thousands, right? And at most you get, I think it was 18 boats in that shot. When you get that music and you get that lull in the music before it builds back up again. It is only when he is coming down through the thing and it's fast. Are you seeing all the thing? Then you get a sense of that scale. Because my criticism was before it's Dunkirk, and you never get that sense of scale in it, and you don't, unless you really look for it. You don't. And from a historical point of view, it makes me feel. I don't know. I know what he was trying to do. I know what he's trying to do, and I genuinely enjoy the Spitfire story more in the second viewing. And you're right about what's his face on the boat. He's a brilliant actor, although
Mark Rylance.
Yeah, Mark Rylance.
Oh, dude, he's a fucking comedian. That's what I said. Yeah. I think I said that the first time around. It's like kind of you'd think this was just an ordinary person, and given the fact that I've seen him play bloody U.S. senators and stuff. He did. He felt so genuine as a character. And the bit with Cillian Murphy where he pushes Matey down the stairs and kills him accidentally, that's tragic. But I like the fact that they put the story in the newspaper at the end. Yeah, where they gets it to the thing, he finds a picture and everything, sends it off, and it was I think that came from the fact that he turned around and goes, look, I'm never going to school. I'm not about to go to the army or the navy or this, that, whatever. I'm not going to get to do any of this stuff. This is the only time I'm going to do anything and be a hero, sort of thing. And he did, which was great. And I love that kind of thing. And it's weird because I didn't notice this the first time around. I didn't notice it this time because I was paying more attention this time because everything is split into 3 kind of areas. You've got land, sea, and air. And then you've got the land part, which is the bit on Dunkirk beach, which is happening over the course of a week. Then you've got the stuff that's happening on the boat, which is over the course of a day. And then you've got the stuff that's happening with Spitfire that happens over the course of the hour. And it's ironic because we were talking about Slow Horses, and Jack Loudon, who plays River Cartwright in Slow Horses, is the other RAF pilot in there. And that was fantastic. I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah. Nolan went out of his way to pick actors that are not renowned for the smaller, senior, younger roles, if that makes any sense. So all the younger ones are played by unknown actors. Part of me does feel a little gypped because it starts off and that guy's desperate for a shit and he doesn't get to have a shit, and we don't see him get to have a shit, and that was never resolved. So from my angle, he held on to that shit for a whole week. That's a hero.
I'm conflicted about it. The second time round, I enjoyed it more, and I know he was trying to tell personal tales, and the personal tales work. It's just that what the backdrop of it is, in many ways, I don't think the film does the backdrop justice. But I'm not saying that that's... It had to be this way to tell the tales that he was doing and to make you feel that uncomfortableness that there is throughout that film. It's why it's also quite short. It's actually a very short film, but it feels so long because it is so claustrophobic. And you're right, that the whole thing is intentional. But knowing the history that I do and knowing how just quite what it was, the feat of it, what he's trying to do is make you feel what it was. And
Make you feel like they would feel at Dunkirk. It's funny because there was a review for someone who was at Dunkirk, and he said you managed to get the feeling of what it feels like at Dunkirk, but it was quieter. He said it was a lot quieter than the stuff you put through. I think it's a really good thing. I would have liked to have seen him do the Battle of Britain because it felt like a natural follow-up. Because it was like kind of what happens next. Battle of Britain happens next. So you've got that there. Oh, don't do it, Keith. Don't do it. No, hang on a second. Is he? I'm just. He's not doing it. Okay, cool. I'll just. Oh, fuck! I was trying to mute him too. I knew he'd do that. Hello, Dave. How are we? Anyway, going back to Dunkirk. It's the Tom Hardy with his damaged thing with the fuel gauge. One of the bits that I thought was the saddest bit in the film is when Tom Hardy's looking back at his Spitfire that he set on fire.
Yeah, and
that is so fucking sad. It's like shooting a horse.
He is the one character that I think it is real. There was a Spitfire that landed.
No, there wasn't. I checked.
I thought there was.
He's the one character that wasn't real.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought there
was.
was
The one person. He was the one person that wasn't real. He's based on 3 people. It's not based on one person. He's based on 3 people, and they've rolled it all into one.
It was. I mean, but that bit where he's flying, because I mean, what? Yeah, like you said, when the boats turn up and you get that, they take away that sound that's there the whole movie. You don't realise it, but it's there the entire movie, right? And when the small boats turn up, you lose it, and then suddenly they turn on the volume to 11. Because you got Kenneth Branagh who thinks everybody's saved, and then you hear the noise. The noise of the Stuka.
Hang on, let me go back through that scene because the scene is fucking great because it uses minimal dialogue to put stuff across. So the first thing is he's looking to the horizon and he's standing there with I don't know if he's an army major or brigadier or whatever, and he turns around and goes, "What can you see?" And he turns around and he says, "Home," like that. And you're thinking, and it plays that warm music, and you see the boats, and everything calms down, and then Kenneth Branagh turns around and looks up, and it's like, hang on a second. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And he does it. Doesn't say a word. Oh, fuck. We are fucked. Yeah? And then Tom Hardy's playing with no fucking fuel.
But he closes his eyes. You don't actually see it. He closes his eyes, then you hear the guns. He opens, and the Stuka's going, and then the Spitfire comes through with no engine, and you're like, and you go, yes.
It did kind of felt like an Ace Rimmer moment. What a guy!
Yeah. Smoke me a kebab, be back for breakfast. But I enjoyed it more the second time. I'm able to better articulate what I had a problem with in the first film, and it is that it never really accurately depicts the epicness of it. But it has to be this way in order for you to feel what you do. Because when you show the scale of it, you probably won't have that feeling. So I know what he was trying to do. And from that perspective, it works. The shell-shocked guy, again, the son who is so angry with him, and because of the way he does timey-wimey, it's not in order, but you eventually see him turn when he again asks if he's okay. The young son says, "Yeah, he's fine," and that's kind of cathartic, in terms of that he sees the shell shocked in this guy. He doesn't hold him.
And then you got Mark Rylance's character turns around to him. It's like, you did the right thing there, because that might fuck him up, because he's fucked up as it is anyway. You'd probably push him over the edge there. I like that. Sorry?
It's done well. It's his shortest film.
It is his shortest film, but it's one of his most tense. It's the most intense film of all the ones he's done. Yeah. And it's just it's really simple, and it starts off where you've got the soldiers and they're going through the town of Dunkirk, and then they get shot at, and Matey just starts firing back randomly, and then he comes across the French barricade. And then the kind of annoying thing, which is historical, was the fact that, we didn't take any French guys. And it was great because I think they did that, and then it cuts to the guy taking the uniform of the British soldier. So he figured out that the only way he's getting off is to be British or to be something along those lines there. I think the Tom Hardy character I'm sure I read something about one of the people he's based off is a Canadian fella. That tends to get missed out on these sort of things.
There was a Spitfire that landed on Dunkirk Beach.
I'll fucking Google it now.
I mean, again, there's often a sort of like fairy tale about these pilots. What that showed the realism of it, and it did it well. It did it well. The fact that they were, the fuel and everything, and those dogfights and everything. I mean, the Spitfire stuff was really, really well done. And yeah, you're right. He should make a Battle of Britain film. He should also make a James Bond film.
He should also make a Saint-Nazaire one, which hasn't been done properly. So yeah.
Yes. I mean, I think he's capable of making those type of films. We'll see. Next week's going to be interesting because I only saw it once, and I saw it in COVID, and I never saw it on the big screen. So, and I haven't watched it again since, and it's not available on HBO Max. This is one film that's not. So, yes, we're going to sit through Tenet again. That's going to be interesting.
I think you're going to like it more.
I think you're probably right.
I think you're going to like it more, but you're going to go, some bits are fucking stupid. That's what I think what the response would be. Which is fine, because some bits are fucking stupid. But it's very, to quote Doctor Who, it's very timey-wimey.
Yes. But, I mean, going back to Dunkirk, I enjoyed this more this time round, but it is an intense film. And it does feel like a bit of a roller coaster. But it ends well. It ends well. Even when they're pulling into the station at the end, thinking that they're going to be, people are going to yell at them and call them names and cowards and everything. And the sergeant from the bill, the sergeant, the guy that was the longest running character in the bill, right, hands them 2 beers through the window, and the look of relief on them. Again, I like that.
Yeah, it was. Very. Just what you call it, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. Quite literally, the jaws of defeat. Because if you looked, they were surrounded on all sides, and it shows you on that pamphlet at the beginning that he picks up that he's going to wipe his ass on. But still, and this is my biggest problem, he still never got to have that poo.
And on that note,
That was my takeaway from Dunkirk. We never got the poo resolution.
poo resolution. Seriously. Right. Okay. And on that note,
It's goodbye from me.
and it's goodbye from me. We'll see you next week. Tenant. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Tenet.
Go watch Ludwig. And
Bye-bye.
see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.